We are live. This is Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you tonight. Game one is complete. Game one does not go the way we want it to go. Tennessee falls to Texas A&M tonight, 9-5. A lot of ways we could go with this one tonight. Basically, Tennessee, if you ask me, and I think a lot of you would agree on that, I think Tennessee played about as bad as they could play tonight. I'm not saying A&M played as good as they could. A&M played a pretty good ball game tonight, though. But Tennessee, they were fortunate last week against Florida State with all the self-inflicted wounds that they got out of that first game with the victory tonight. They went back to the same well they went last week. Didn't pay off tonight. There's a lot of stuff to discuss on this as well. And, some of my feelings about the way you guys are using stuff are pretty well known on here. But I get, they've had success. They're going to roll with how they want. But my fear the whole year has been some of these philosophies and stuff's going to come back to bite us at some point and come back to bite us in the worst times. Well, case in point was tonight. The opener, I'll be honest with you. When I look at guys, if I'm going an opener philosophy, number one, I got a lot of ways I'm going to go tonight on this. So just bear with me. I'll get to your comments here as well. We got close to 50 of you. It's a pretty good crowd to start out. Make sure you share this thing out. There's not a lot to like tonight. I get it. We're going to talk this thing. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I still feel good, though. I still feel good. A&M burned up. They used their main starter tonight in Prager. They burned up their second guy. And then, they're closer through. I will give Tennessee credit. They battled against A&M's closer. They made him throw more pitches than anticipated, but he threw 46 pitches tonight. He went 2 2/3, 7 strikeouts. But that, I don't know that he'd be available tomorrow. So, who goes for A&M? Tennessee's got Beam going tomorrow. You got Sechrist going Monday, or at least I think that's the way it goes. I still think Tennessee's in pretty good shape. I still think they're in pretty good shape on this. I'm going to hit some comments here real quick. I'll get into more of my thoughts here as well. So I want to highlight this. Why start Stamos 3 the last 4? Couldn't even record 2 outs. Started vet like Kirby, get him through the line. I'll be honest, I get that. I get going Kirby. Loy made my case. I've been on the Loy wagon for a little bit now that I would rather see him open here. I don't like the opener philosophy, not on a Friday night. I get it on the weekend. Of course, this is Saturday night. I'm looking at that, normally your Friday night game. For 3 years now, Tennessee has pissed the bed in the postseason with their first night of the weekend guy. Andrew Lindsay last year was not your main guy. It was kind of like this philosophy they went with Stamos and Causey. He got the job done. When we got to the postseason, he wasn't making it but a couple innings last year. The year before that, they had rolled all year with Burns, Dolander, Beam as their staff. Tidwell was working his way back. I never thought he had his stuff back. Come postseason, they went Tidwell back starter. You got to the Notre Dame series, he got rocked. Tennessee has got to take their ace and put them the first night of the weekend and quit getting their asses in a hole. They've got to stop with this philosophy. And I know they were 9-1 coming in this year, but Causey has bailed Stamos out a lot. The last 2 games, Causey has not had it. He's not had it at all. And he's just hanging too many pitches, and A&M's making him pay. Our guys, on the other hand, I don't know how many pitches were across the middle and we're fouling them off. I don't know what the deal was with that tonight. A lot I'm going to analyze and a lot I'm going to try to figure out with this tonight. But I do like the next 2 games. We got Beam going. If Beam throws like he did last weekend, we're in good shape. But this is a good A&M offense, though, even without Braid Montgomery. So Tennessee's in the hole. They're in the hole. It's either you come fight back, or you're going to the house tomorrow. And I'll be honest about it. I'll be totally honest. If they're going to lose this series, I hope they go and get it out of the way tomorrow. I really do. Don't prolong it to Monday where we got to set up Monday night or any of that. If you're going to lose the series, and a lot of you may not agree with me on that, I'd rather go ahead and get it over with tomorrow. And but with that said, I still feel confident this team can come back. But man, they've got to clean up a lot. This team's better go to that locker room and take a real good look in the mirror tonight. And because there's a lot of them did not get the job done on here. There's some guys did, but there's some of your main guys did not get the job done tonight. Also, it's baseball. It happens, all right? Umpiring, I had a problem with the umpiring tonight. It was not consistent, and I felt the strike zone definitely did not favor Tennessee. There was numerous strikes. There were some guys complain. I didn't think he had much of a complaint. There were some times they complained they did have a complaint on it. Seen some of you complaining about Causey. I think Causey stayed in too long tonight for sure. Amick started off pretty rough. I'm going to try to get into these and get them called up. I think this is a pretty good one. We didn't come ready to play tonight. We did. And I know a lot of the fans were already counting national championship and stuff. I hope the players weren't as well. And it certainly looked like they thought tonight they were going to waltz through it. Here's the thing about it with Stamos, and I don't understand why this is so hard to figure out. That same pitch that got hit for a home run, the first pitch of the game, is the one he's been getting killed on. That same freaking pitch that if you're facing the plate, left, outside, and up, teams have been killing him on that damn pitch, yet he keeps throwing it. Put him behind, put him in a hole. They never recovered tonight. And again, here's my thing with it. There is no way that's my guy that's the opening on it. It's just not. To me, Stamos is a guy I'm throwing to eat up when the game's out of hand one way or another. Otherwise, I really don't need to see him. But that's their philosophy. Tennessee's got to fix a couple things. If they don't win this national title, it's not going to be because of just Stamos. So let's don't stop there. I don't like the philosophy. I don't like it. This is your main guys going. You're throwing yourself at a disadvantage. Maybe you're trying to gain that advantage the next two games, which they will have. And maybe that philosophy does pay off for them. They've got to get, and I know A.J. Russell, the injury, threw a wrench into everything. It really did. They've got to get this Friday night slot figured out. They've not had it figured out at least the last 2 years. And, this year it was kind of out of their hands. But still, part of me, why not Beam? Why has Beam not been that guy? But we turn it over to Beam tomorrow. Only down 0-1. We win the next two. This means nothing tonight. It means nothing tonight. So, yeah, you got to brush it off. But this is a team, they've not lost a series since Alabama. We got to have confidence that same thing is going to take shape tonight or this weekend. Early game tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Tennessee's been good on Sundays the last few weeks. Got to trust that they're going to come out ready to go on Sunday again as well. Some of the same things that's gotten him, some of the things that we've been afraid of reared their ugly heads tonight. Man, I look at this scorebook. 3 errors. Chapman had an awful night tonight. I think we've seen about what we need to see Reese Chapman for the year at this point. His outfield, he was awful. He made an error. For whatever reason, he fields one, was it in the 3rd inning, and throws it to second. He would have had the guy gunned by a mile at the plate. Throws it to second, gives the guy the base. He did nothing to plate tonight. He was pulled for Dalton Bargo, who did nothing at the plate tonight either. The DH role reared its ugly head tonight. What Cannon Peebles has to do to get a shot at it, I don't know. I guess Chapman and Bargo, they'll hit that home run occasionally and give you hope. But, Chapman come close to, it was an okay bunt, but, he needed it more down the line. and that's a rally started. But here's your problem: your next guy's over the College World Series down at the bottom. Cal Stark's down to 208. This is the thing that kills me about that Cannon Peebles was I say, what's Cannon Peebles going to have to do to get a shot? Well, I have to backtrack because Cannon Peebles was given a shot to have that role, and he was worse than Cal Stark. Cal Stark is an automatic out right now. He's an automatic out at the plate. There's just no other way to get around that. No other way. Let's see. Let me get caught up on comments here just a minute. See, I'd already put this one up here. Errors. Freaking errors. I can't much fault the one on Curley, but still, at some point, we need somebody to make that play. Tough play, don't get me wrong, but he was on it. It was hop. It was in his glove and out. Somebody's got to make that play. And he make that error. I mean, he made a great play to field it, and then just a horrible throw. He's almost become a liability at third base. Curley's making error. Our infield is not playing well in the field right now. It has picked the worst time to not play well. And, Chapman had the error. Curley was charged with the error. I thought that was a little tough, but still yet. I need somebody to make that play at some point. And then, of course, tonight, 17 strikeouts, 10 guys left on base. You're not going to beat good teams like that. You're just not. And, on the earned run department, Texas A&M had 7 earned runs out of 9 on it. Tennessee did earn their runs, but they had their chances. They had their chances tonight. I don't know how long we'll go on this tonight. Whatever, man. Let's see. Yeah, they absolutely better come out fighting tomorrow. For sure. Didn't have much of an answer for the bullpen. Got to them a little bit at one point, but their closer, he shut the door for it. He absolutely shut the door tonight. Aschenbeck, I think they said 2 2/3, 2 hits, 7 strikeouts for him. He did throw 46 pitches, so I don't think he'll be good to go tomorrow, but you can bet if it gets to Monday, we'll see him if it comes down to it on Monday. Stewart, 56, he's burned for tomorrow. Prager, he's probably done for the weekend on it. So, the good thing is you burned up some guys tonight. I really think they did for tomorrow. I think that plays into Tennessee's hands, but Beam's going to have to be on it, and the defense is going to have to be on it before. I don't know, man. I would say we saw this team against Florida State last week. This team tonight just didn't fight back. The pitch selection by our guys was bad tonight. We watched a lot of fastballs, and I know they were looking off speed. They were looking curveball sliders because these guys threw more, but I thought our pitch selection was very bad tonight. And when it seemed like when Tennessee's pitchers hung one, A&M made them pay. When A&M's pitchers hung one, we just fouled it off or watched it. One of the two. Dowling and Inslee made them pay there a couple times. Other than that, guys just either watched them or fouled them off. We got to be better than that because they did give us some pitches to hit tonight. We just didn't take advantage of them. Let's see. Good, bad, ugly. This is going to be my segue here. Will Murley said not a lot of pop. Dylan Lloyd was very good tonight. He was very good. I would say he was the big positive for me. Dylan Dowling, excellent night for him. The one strikeout he did have, man, he had a couple excellent pitches to hit, and he watched them. Actually, he fouled a couple off, but the 3 strikes he took 3 strikes in that at bat. The last one, it was a good pitch. Broke around that outside corner. The first 2 that he watched were perfect, though. Inslee, 3 for 5, but he had 2 strikeouts tonight. I mean, Moore, 2 strikeouts. Burke, 3. I know Burke didn't agree with 2 of them. I had a problem with the first one. It was low. I did not have a problem with the one in the 9th inning. Did not have, and he had some good pitches to hit in that at bat, and he just kept fouling them off. It didn't even look to me like he was trying to put them in play. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe he's just trying to make them happen. But Amick, 1 for 3, had a couple strikeouts to start, and then he was on base 3 times. Dowling 1, Inslee 2. Tears had an awful night at the plate. Had a great catch in center, but a bad night to plate. Curley, 1 strikeout. Chapman was 0 for 1, no strikeouts. He had the what he attempted. I guess he had the sacrifice it was, so he didn't get counted for an at bat. Bargo come in to pinch hit, 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. And then Cal Stark, 0 for 3. He did have a walk, and he had a strikeout as well. I mean, Cal's 0 for the World Series right now. That's you can't have it. Tennessee, that's something Tennessee's got to fix moving forward, is these guys that are automatic outs. They've had it for a couple years in a row, and it's been the same guys been part of that at the bottom. And I thought this was a pitcher that would play into Cal's hands tonight, throwing that low pitch, but he's not seeing it. He's not hitting right now at all. And I don't know that you can expect much for him. You need guys in front of him to get on, so at least he can try to bunt or something. But the good for me though, I'll go with Loy. I'll go with Dylan Dreiling, and for the most part, I'll go Inslee. If Inslee's going to DH, put Inslee in the field. I don't get this philosophy of, well, they can DH and they're going to have to run the bases, but they can't play the field. If you can DH, you can play the field out there. Get Chapman and Bargo out, put Inslee back in the lineup, out in the outfield. I don't know who DHs tomorrow night, but I don't know what your answer is at this point in the season. It's probably going to be one of the same 2 guys, and you just hope that maybe that's their night to do something. But I don't know where they go as far as that goes. I don't look for many changes or anything tomorrow. The biggest thing you need to change, come out and play some defense. Come out and play. Curley, I need Curley to make some difficult plays. I need him to do that. All right. That's where we need a shortstop that can make these plays. Amick has really become a liability at third base. There's a reason he was not playing the field at Clemson. We're seeing it. He's, for the most part, did pretty well. Recently, it started going downhill a little bit. Hating to be negative tonight. I'm calling what I'm seeing here recently. Our infield's got to be better. They have to be better, no doubt. Strikeouts were absolutely brutal tonight. 17 strikeouts. This was one of those where way too many mistakes, and A&M didn't make it. A&M was the much looser team. This team come out tight. I wonder how much of it has to do with you have a pitcher starting who throws the same damn pitch that he's gotten killed on, and it gets killed again. It's the same philosophy. It has to take a little bit of air out that your first guy can't even get 2 outs, and they have to pull him. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't have an answer for that one, but that one is, I've had a lot of questions on that one for a while. It's a good point. We've come back before. I mean, this team has not lost a series since Alabama. We just got to trust that they'll be ready to come back and bounce back tomorrow and Monday. Obviously, if they don't bounce back tomorrow, it's irrelevant. But, I still like how it matches up pitching-wise for Tennessee. We've got to come out and play looser, though. That was just unfortunate bounces, horrible throw to first, never adjusted to the strike zone. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I would say that's pretty accurate. It was an inconsistent strike zone. But you know what? It is what it is. A&M did their thing. We didn't. That's all there is. So, don't give up 5-run innings for sure. Well, here's the good thing, D-Hurt. We won't have to worry about it again. There won't be starting Stamos again. So it's, that's one positive out of it. I don't dislike Stamos at all. I just don't think he's the right guy for that role. I never have thought he was. But it's easy to say here, if he would have come out and had the outing he had in the SEC tournament, we're talking about these guys being brilliant and how they worked it tonight. The bottom line with it is, and I think we're putting too much on Stamos again tonight, because he was bad. Causey was bad again tonight. I mean, Causey's line for the night, 3 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 1 walk, 5 Ks. He did some good things. His defense did not bail him out tonight. But you're looking at two guys here. Stamos, a 4.50 ERA on the season, Causey, 4.43. For that to be lining up against other teams' aces, I just don't think that's the way you want to go. I don't think that's the strategy. And yeah, it's paid off, but you know, I don't know. Laura Hubbard, this is a pretty good one here. Lloyd did look good. Phillips, Nuke Phillips. Absolutely. He's got the Lelouch. If there was a mascot back behind, Phillips would probably plunk the mascot. So, but Phillips has got the heat. His biggest thing is his control, for sure. But, he went 2/3. He had a walk. He had a strikeout. He did his job tonight. He kept it. It's kind of an adventure when he's in, but he still did his job right there. So, he did a good job. Lloyd did a good job. I mean, Cannell had a shaky inning, but there were no runs in his inning that he had. Even though he gave up 3 hits, he still got out of that with no runs, only on 13 pitches. Stamos did not do his job. Of course, defense, Curley's got to make that play behind him. I know it's tough. I know it's a tough bounce. I don't know. At some point, you have to make that play. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. A lot of you talk about the strike zone. I see some of you kind of different on the strikes. I thought they watched too many pitches and got themselves in holes where they had to swing at crap. There were too many times we watched 2 strikes and then had to swing at something. I thought the pitch selection from the batters was bad tonight. I don't know how many fastballs we watched go down the middle or how many. I mean, there were multiple guys I don't think was seeing the ball good tonight. And, I don't know if it was the spin. I don't know what they were looking for on it or what, but I thought we had 17 strikeouts, and I think it was a case of watching too many pitches and then swinging at crap when it was that. That's the way I saw things. I definitely didn't think they swung too much. But umpires, yeah, it's pretty sad we get to this point and have umpires that call like that. Moore and Tears had bad nights. But the good thing is the last time Moore had a night like this, he went on a tear after it. Tears, the last time he had a night like this, he went on a tear. They've both been on a tear in Omaha. They weren't tonight. Let's hope they finish off strong the next 2 games. We could blame this one on about everything tonight. The bats, the pitching, the defense. But also you got to tip your hat to Texas A&M. They come out, they got on Tennessee immediately, and they never looked back. Their pitching did their job. Their defense did their job. They played a better baseball game. They were the better team tonight. They deserved to win that baseball game. Tennessee, Tennessee did nothing to help themselves. But at the same time, the objective is not to beat yourselves. A&M did that. They did not beat themselves. Tennessee did. 9-5 ball game. You could look back at a lot of things that could have went differently. But, you can look back on Wednesday at that Tennessee-Florida State game. Florida State doesn't make some of the mistakes they made. That game in the last inning is a 1-run game. But we're going to see how this team responds tomorrow. They got punched in the mouth tonight. They did not look good. They did not look ready. We'll see how they come out tomorrow. You've got your guy I think an argument could be made. Do you want Beam or Sechrist going? It's going to be Beam tomorrow for sure. But I think if you're Tennessee right now, if you got to win 2 games, what Texas A&M has left versus what Tennessee. I mean, you didn't use Combs nor Snead tonight. You really did not burn. I mean, Causey's burned. Other than that, everybody's good to go. So you're still in pretty good shape if you're Tennessee over these next couple of days because they played it smart. They didn't burn Combs. They didn't burn Snead. And I like that they did because honestly, I thought the game was over early they, hats off. They tried to make it a little interesting, but they just couldn't come up with enough hits. Like 10 left on base, 17 strikeouts. Guys just didn't do enough. And it was throughout the lineup. Dreiling, Inslee, they were honestly kind of the exception rather than, you had Burke had a couple of hits, Dreiling 4 hits, Inslee 3, Curley had 2 hits. But, the thing of it is sometimes you can have productive outs. There were no productive outs tonight. It was either feast or famine, more or less, on it. Let's see. I think they could have, but they weren't going to change it at this point. That would have been the logical thing to do, go beam Secrets. I totally agree. But based on what they've done, and they talked about it on the telecast, they were 9-1. So we'll see. Tennessee better be pissed tonight. They better be pissed. When they went to that outfield to meet tonight, I hope there was, there doesn't need to be butt chewings or anything like that. It's, maybe a come, I don't know if I had come to Jesus, but hey, we need to go look in the mirror because we really got lucky last week against Florida State in the first game. Played like this and got away with it. The bats come through. Wasn't the case tonight. Yeah, Greg German was going. If Tennessee wins this thing, Greg's will come on do some dancing for us, but there's a long way to go. Yeah, I was a little bit irate too. I'm not going to lie. I'm still a little bit worked up about it, but I can handle a team just coming out and drilling Tennessee. I really can. I can handle that. I just can't handle it in the way we did. I've not been a proponent of this opener philosophy. I just don't like it, and I know what they're trying to do, but I still say there's been a better guy for it. That you're hoping to get you a bit. I don't know. It's again, if Causey does his job, we're not talking much about Stamos tonight. We're just not. Causey's not done his job 2 weeks in a row. He's hung too many pitches. That's what it's boiled down to. Let's see, I'm going through them here. So this is the thing you cannot set on. I thought there was a lot of pitches down the middle they watched tonight. I don't know that I agree on this one. I don't. Tennessee's not a good base stealing team, and it's you need all the runs you can get on it. I don't know. Maybe it would have changed the game. I'm just not one of those in that case where you run yourself out of runs. But yeah, it was totally Texas A&M won the game fair and square. And Texas A&M was the better team. We can sit here and say what we want. Texas A&M was the better baseball team tonight. It sucks to say it. It looked like they wanted it more from the get-go when the guy led off with the home run. They never looked back. And I don't know, Tennessee, if that affected them or what, but they just never did their thing. No one on Tennessee can lay down a bunt good. It's like an urban legend. When it happens, you're shocked by it. So, no. I think we're okay, too. 2 more wins. Good thing tonight was not the elimination game. I still like how the pitching sets up down the stretch. Too many left on base. Yeah, absolutely. 10. 17 strikeouts, 10 left on base, and 3 errors. You're not going to win those type games. You're just not. Let's see. It's a good. My only one thought they believed they'd do what they did against Florida State. The games have looked identical 2 weeks in a row with the errors, with the self-inflicted wounds, with the pitch with Stamos and Causey not getting the job done. Even though last week against Florida State, I can't blame Stamos. None of that was his fault. His defense did not do him any favors. Curley, I know it's a tough ball up the middle, but an above average shortstop will make that play. I know the hops. I get it. I'm probably a little too hard on that. It's just the fact that it's been a while since I've seen him make a play that maybe was required above average defense on it. Three errors, pitching for the most part was not good. I mean, when your two opening guys give up between them 7 runs, even though 5 were earned, and then Banky has not looked good recently when he's pitched either. Cannell was shaky, no runs. Phillips did his job. Loy looked excellent. I thought Loy had a great outing tonight. A&M's closer was on it. Yeah, 7 strikeouts. He did his job. I'm totally with this one. I thought our guys took way too many good pitches tonight. I really did, and it seemed to me like too when Texas A&M would hang on, other than Dreiling and Inslee going back to back. I really felt like a lot when they were hanging, we were just fouling them off or watching them. We just did not make them pay when they missed tonight. We gave up a lot of 0-2 hits tonight. Absolutely. I don't understand why we're grooving pitches on 0-2. I get attacking the hitter. I get not wasting them, but I just don't. I don't get the philosophy of just going. Marcus Phillips, yes, I get it. You're going to have to catch up to that heat, and especially when he first came in and when he was throwing. I don't know if it was a cutter or a 4-seam, but it was moving. It was moving right to left. I have no problem attacking there, but you know what? There was without Causey, there's no excuse for him to be attacking right down the middle, unless he's just missing, which I think is possible because Stark was set up way outside a couple times. I actually thought Chapman had the right idea here. If he would have bunted that one more down to third base line, he was on easily. If he would have pulled it down to first base line, he would have probably had a good chance too, but they were playing the shift on him. So if he would have put that one more down to third base line, if he would have put it a few more feet, he would have been good, I think, on that. That's the way it looked to me. Well, Inslee's in the lineup. They need to put him back in center field. Not that Tears, I mean, I don't have a problem with Tears in center. I just have a problem with the guy in right field who won't attempt to throw a dude out to plate and had a bad night out there tonight. I mean, there's a couple dudes that it's almost time to send them to summer ball. Let them get some reps there that I think I've seen about enough of for the year. But, you've got to DH somebody. You got to hope somebody gets hot. You're going to look at how a guy throws and who matches up best against them. I mean, odds are it's going to be Chapman or Bargo. It's who it's been pretty much the whole way. I don't know who else you come by. I don't need to see Bradkey, Laurie, Villeneuve. I mean, that poor guy, they've known the book on him for a while now. I mean, Tears have been pretty hot. He had a bad night tonight. I think that's a little strong. He's had a pretty good World Series up to that point. I really think it was a group effort tonight. It was pitching, basically your first 2 out of the gate. Your defense cost you, and 17 strikeouts, 10 left on base. It was a group effort tonight. Let's see. I'm still going through some of them here. Sometimes guys, you just have those nights, and Tennessee did have on the night, they did have 12 hits, but you leave 10 on base. I mean, the announcers talked about Tennessee had opportunities. They just couldn't do anything with them a lot of times. So, I mean, it was there. It was there. I mean, A&M had 13 hits. They had 9 runs. They made it happen. Tennessee did not. A lot of the guys, they're, some of you talking about guys swinging for the fences. That's what most of these guys do. There's not an adjustment swing. There just isn't. But, the good thing is hopefully the sun will come up tomorrow. And we got another chance. Why do we not need you don't try to steal bases down 9-2. This is not a good stealing team. If you look at their stats, they are not a good base stealing team. Down 9-2 and trying to come back, you do not try to steal bases. Not with this team. Not with these guys. I get what you're saying on that. I'm going to respectfully disagree with you. You do not run yourself out of any. Now, don't get me wrong. They're up there striking out and stuff. But, if you've got guys putting the ball in play, you do not want to run yourself out of an inning. If you're trying to make something happen, I get it, but not down that much. The last thing you want to do is run yourself off the bases. You don't do that. David Polk's calling it. We'll come back tomorrow and spank them. Book it. I like it. I still like how it sets up. And I think this team will come out with a little fire in their eyes tomorrow. I really do. This is an excellent question. We did it last year. Well, Lindsey was okay. He was much better than Stamos out the gate. But a lot of it too is the AJ Russell injury. And they've had a hard time trying to make up for that one. That's a hard one to prepare for. It really is. But I still think there's better options. I still think there's been better options this year. Look at Loy. Loy could give you some time out of that opener. He's got good stuff. He's been pitching pretty well also. But I don't know. It's my hope is if Tennessee is not able to come back and win this series, we got to learn from this opener philosophy. We got to learn from it and find somebody to get us some innings out of the get-go. I get to maybe you should have just went Causey from the start on it. I know they panicked when he had 2 bad outings in a row and went with that philosophy, and it worked. It's worked. Again, this philosophy, they've gone 9-1, now 9-2 with it. But it's been a very unorthodox philosophy for sure. And my concern the whole time has been if you face one of these other teams' aces and get behind early, which that's the thing with Stamos. He'll be cruising along, and then he throws that damn pitch that's high in to left-handers. It's inside to right-handers. It's that elevated pitch. That's a pitch for guys to kill. And especially, buddy of mine was setting out on that side of the foul pole tonight. He said the wind's blowing out this way pretty heavily. It got up in that wind and went out to start the game. So Ariel Antigua is absolutely the shortstop of the future. He makes some of these plays, in my opinion. Did not see any emotion tonight. That surprised me. Did not see any with them. And, part of me wonders too, you kind of got hit in the mouth a little bit in that first inning. And that's where you ended up with. Cannot win with 17 strikeouts. Nope. Yeah, I can't disagree at all with this one. I've not agreed with that move, and I know they don't like to switch things up, but I've not understood the philosophy. As much as I love Vitello, Anderson, and that staff, this philosophy has me puzzled. And again, I've talked throughout the year on live shows, on videos. This has been my fear, as some of this would come back to haunt them in the worst situation, and it did tonight. But again, You make a little bit of play. Worst case, you could have been out 1-0 on it. Causey didn't get the job done either, though. He just didn't. If Beam throws like he did last week, we're good. He threw well last week. He'd had a couple shaky outings. I thought he was excellent against Mississippi State in SEC tournament, and then hit a little adversity in what was that 4th inning, and he went down. But I thought he did a really good job last week, and I figured out with him, it's when he's out of the stretch is when he gets into trouble. So they've worked on that this week. Beam's been here. Beam has pitched that elimination game. He did it last year against LSU, and he pitched good enough to win. They just didn't get the job done. I will call it now. Christian Moore will not go 0 for 5 tomorrow. He will not. I would bet on him coming out tomorrow, guns blazing. It's a good question. How do you not come ready to play tonight? They did not look like it. They did not. I mean, what was there fear? It's a good question. It's a lot of good. It just did not look like the same team to me tonight. This infuriates me with Cal Stark, and I get it. There were some questionable strikes and stuff tonight, but you got to know the strike zone as a catcher. You got to know. But I still thought A&M at times got some pitches Tennessee was not getting. But still, it's not like it would matter with him up. Let's just be totally honest with it. But he can't hit. He cannot hit. It's either his only way he gets actually on base is to walk. If he hits a home run, he scores, or he strikes out. It's one of the three. Unfortunately, most of the time it's a strikeout. I hate it. I wish he was better. But it is what it is. We watched way too many strikes down the middle tonight. Man, this puts it in perspective. 5 2/3 innings of strikeouts. Whew. Run polls tonight. Heck yeah, let's do it. Let's go run some polls. Joseph Kechter, what's up, man? Good to see you on here. Watched a ton of first pitch strikes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't agree. I still feel all right about it. It's one loss. They've not lost the series since Alabama. Was it bad tonight? Yes. If you guys will remember last year in the championship series, LSU won game 1. Florida absolutely annihilated LSU in game 2. LSU come back and poured it on them in game 3. One loss doesn't mean anything. I mean, we saw it against Evansville. They looked bad. They bounced back, drilled Evansville. They were lucky to get out of that first game against Florida State with the win, but they played pretty good after that. I wouldn't throw the towel in on this team yet. If we're sitting here tomorrow and they lose, we can discuss that a little more. I'm banking on this team to bounce back tomorrow and send this thing to Monday night. I really do. I really do. Griffin Scarlett, what's up? 23 years old, just sucks, but I always love him. So, let's see. In your lifetime, you have not seen a men's team play for a national championship prior to this year. I mean, gosh, it's been, freaking 98? That was 26 years since any of us had seen it. So, don't give up on them yet, guys. Don't give up on these guys yet. Tonight sucked. There's not a lot of good to take out of it. There really isn't. But I think this is a resilient team. I still think they've got it in them to come back and still win this national championship. You got your main guy going tomorrow, and you really got, theoretically, you got your main guy going Sunday. The guy they say they want with the ball in his hands is going tomorrow, and then you got your hottest pitcher going. I'm a day off on Monday if you get to that. I still think this lines up good for Tennessee. You get the bats rolling, cut down on these strikeouts. You're not going to see as good of a starter as you saw tonight. Tonight was their main guy. He's done for the weekend. There are other starters. They're not going to come close to this. And I'm really surprised because they've hit left-handed pitching well lately. Tonight, something was just off all the way around. It was just off all the way around. I'm gonna agree to disagree with you on here. When that blind's wide open, I'm pushing that one all day long because there's nobody there if you push it down that line. I wouldn't say it feels like Notre Dame because they were a big favorite. I mean, they're a favorite in this one, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm still not. Let's see what we got here. A lot of it's kind of the same. The pitching got us in trouble. Still trying to get down to here. I mean, Beam and Sneed Combs is good to go too. So you've got your, pretty much your three main guys. Cannell will be good to go. I think we're set up pretty well. Still set up pretty well. Let's see here. So let's get in. So I'm going to go back to the stats here. Just some key plays for me. Of course, the first inning, A&M gets 2 runs. Tennessee bounced backs in the second with 1. That third inning was the killer, though. I mean, it was just close to being out of it. Ament, great play, throws it away, leads to more runs. Tennessee, and then Kent, Jeff Kent's boy, Caden Kent hits the 2-run bomb in the 7th. And then when A&M turned it over to their closer, he pretty much put the fire out after that. I mean, their bullpen was really good tonight. Their starter, he had good stuff. I mean, Prager went 4 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs. Tennessee had opportunities. I mean, one good thing out of it, Prager, Stewart, Aschenbeck. Those 3 guys are not going tomorrow. They have to be done tomorrow. There's no way. It's easy you got to keep this in mind, guys. When the team that's playing the best, the announcers are going to talk more about the team that's playing the best for the night. Tonight, that team was Texas A&M. Nobody was against Tennessee tonight except for Tennessee. They are the ones who didn't do the job tonight. That's what it boiled down to. Again, 10 strikeouts, 10 left on base, 17 strikeouts, only 3 walks. You had 12 hits. You couldn't do anything with it. You gave up 13 hits. You gave up 9 runs. Only 7 of them were earned. I would question that a little bit, if even 7 of them were earned. But your main guys out of the gate give you 4 innings and 7 runs. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. That's not going to win you any games. And then 3 errors as well, which I would say they made more than 3 mistakes in the field. They got charged with 3 errors. As far as mistakes, though, they made plenty more tonight. But this thing's not over yet. It's not over yet. We'll discuss it again tomorrow around 6:30. I don't know. I got much more to go on about tonight. We've talked about it. We've discussed it. The bottom line is this team's got to go look in the mirror. They got to determine what did not work tonight. Not much did work. How can we add to the little bit that did work tonight and not repeat it tomorrow? You're set up good on your pitching for the weekend. Are the bats going to show up tomorrow? Is the defense? That's the biggest concern to me, is the defense. This defense has not been good recently. And it's a defense that has its moments, but earlier in the season, to me, it's a subpar defense. I think it's performed probably above standards most of the year. Here in the NCAA tournament, I would venture to say they've been one of the worst fielding teams in the tournament this infield has. Outfield's done pretty good. Got to bring it. Got to play clean baseball for sure. On nights like this, some of us, we're going to disagree. I don't, you know, and that's okay. We can disagree. I'm not running when I'm down 9-2. I'm not running myself out of runs. If they give me a side wide open to bunt to, I'm bunting to that side. It just is, especially with the left-hander. That's the easiest way to bunt to, is to push it with the left-hander to that third base side. That's the way I see it. It doesn't mean I'm right, doesn't mean I'm wrong, but from my standpoint, when I've coached what we've done, that's the way I go every time with it. Some things just didn't work. The baseball gods were not in Tennessee's favor tonight. Definitely got some bounces that were tough as well. My guess is this team bounces back tomorrow and sends it to Monday, and then we're set up with the guy that's been our best pitcher and who has I don't think if they get by tomorrow, there's not another guy I would want with the ball than Xander Sechrist on Monday night. This guy pitched the last game against South Carolina. That was for a share of the SEC title. He pitched did he pitch the SEC championship in the tournament? I'm trying to remember on that one. If not, he pitched the game to get them there. He pitched the game to win the regional. He pitched the game to win the super regional. He pitched the game this past week to get them to the championship series. There's no one else that I want, if we can get it, to Xander Sechrist on Monday night. All right, don't give up on these guys yet. There's still a lot of baseball left to play. The good thing is this was not the elimination game tonight. The series is not 1-1 game. There's 2 more to go. And I'm venturing to say we're going to be playing both those games, and I still have confidence that this team will win a national championship on Monday night. I'm wrapping up on that one. I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Have a great rest of your evening. And last but most certainly not least, go Vols.